in this whole era of like social media and everything, we have become obsessed with defining ourselves, with having an identity, because with all these influencers coming up, everyone having a social media account, competing for likes, comments, followers, and whatnot, we've kind of lost this sense of me, like having an identity. So we want it so badly that we want to define ourselves, so we stand somewhere in society, is what I feel. And you notice this a lot, right? So especially when you ask someone, oh, hey, like, what's your name, what do you do, and all that, they say, oh, I'm a software engineer. But no, are you really? Like, is that all you do? Is that all you are? Like, I just feel like we tend to define ourselves and limit ourselves mentally to what we really could be, because you're not just your profession, you're not just what role your organization decides you are. You're much more than that, right? There's so many aspects to a human being, and we can't just limit the definition of our existence just by the position we are at a company, or the role we play, right? I'll give you an example. So when I meet someone new, or when I go to an event and they ask me to introduce myself, sometimes I say I'm a YouTuber, sometimes I say I work at sales, sometimes I say I'm a drummer. And who the fuck's gonna stop me, right? Like, why stick to one definition? And you could put forth this argument that, oh, like, being in sales is your profession, that's what makes you money. Well, I've made money being a drummer, so maybe I'm a drummer. And I've made money teaching Rubik's Cube, so maybe I'm a Rubik's Cube teacher. Or I'm trying to start a YouTube channel, so maybe I'm a struggling YouTuber. So there are so many ways we could define ourselves. And we always like stick to this one thing, and then we just stick to that for the rest of our lives, because that's become our entire identity. And now we've reached that point where we are like kind of afraid to leave that identity and then find a new one, because whoa, how the fuck can we change our whole identity, right? And you'll see this especially in India when someone wants to drop out from a course or a degree, right? That's seen like this big deal, because dropping out is basically like giving up on something. And let's say you, god forbid, pick a very serious degree or a course like um, becoming a lawyer or a doctor or engineer, right? That's like a very serious degree, and that's a professional course, right? Now if you were to drop out from something like that midway, you are basically switching your whole identity, because you were supposed to become a doctor, and doctor is someone respected in society. So now you're not going to become a doctor. So like, who are you going to become, and how could you possibly become something as good as being a doctor? So you tend to face this whole existential crisis type of thing. And I've seen that happen in front of me. I've seen people who've hated being a doctor so much they wanted to leave it, but they can't because of their parents' expectations, their society's expectations. It's fucking crazy. Luckily, I never gave a fuck about it, for better or worse. And there was also a point in time where I wanted to drop off from my degree, but again, my parents didn't let me, because they were like, "Why waste a year?" And in retrospect, I agree. Like, why waste a year? My degree was a joke, anyways, and it was only 3 years. So it's honestly maybe a good thing I didn't drop out, because things worked out fine eventually, right? And I think in the grand scheme of things, things have a way of working out anyways. If you try to work it out, if you really know what you want to do and where you want to go and how you want to be as a person, and work towards it, automatically things will fall into place, because that's what your plan is, that's what you're working towards, and that's what you will be doing on a daily basis. And what you do and what you say is who you become. So without a doubt, if you really want to do something, there's no way a degree, or there's no way society can stop you from doing it. No one can really stop you from doing anything in today's world. Like, anything that you say you can't do, or like it's impossible for you, or you don't have the means to, you're really just making an excuse. Because I really feel, okay, unless you're really really struggling from like South Sudan, or some poverty stricken country, if that's the right word, anyways, whatever, a poor country, right, like from Somalia, or some corner of Philippines, then yeah, makes sense. You genuinely don't have the means to leave from there. But of course, you see all these accidental stories, so people have made it out of there, right? So if they can, why can't you? So anything you say you can't do, or it's impossible for you to do, you're really just making an excuse for you to not do. And there is really a way for you to do it. And again, that brings me back to my original discussion, where we tend to define ourselves with only one thing, because we become too comfortable with that definition, right? We because it's very easy to say, yeah, I work at sales, that's who I am, that's what I do, that's it, right? And that puts us in this comfort zone where it doesn't force us to go learn something new, to try something new, because especially like the definition of learning has just become going to school, going to college, getting a degree, maybe getting a master's degree, and if you really want to like do some learning, go get a PhD, right? But of course, that's fucking boring. That's not where real learning is done, anyways. I really do not believe, unless it's again, it's if it's a professional course, yeah, maybe you'll have to go to college for it. But apart from that, there's really no need for a degree, and any sort of learning you want to do can be done online, especially for free, right? There's so many like means out there to do learning for anything in any way. So if there's anything you want to do, you can do it, and if you're not doing it, you're the only reason you're not doing it. There's no external factor really coming into play. Okay, unless you're so dependent on someone else for financial means or whatever, then okay, maybe that is a reason. But of course you can break free from that as well by maybe getting a job, a part-time job, whatever. But of course, like, personal cases are a whole other topic to discuss, right? But that's not what we're here to talk about. So all I'm saying is, don't define yourself, don't stick to one definition. Always try to learn new things, always try to do new things. Live for the experience, right? Live for the thrill of learning something new and sucking at something. What a privilege it is to suck at something, to learn something new, and to become someone new, right? Break free from that past definition you have had of yourself, and actually learning something new and becoming a whole new person along the way. Because what is it we live for if not the experiences that we gain, right? Just learning something new, sucking at it, then maybe like picking up a whole new thing, and just being a beginner or something. Like, it's what a joy it is to be a beginner at something, to just really not have a clue, but still go out of your way to learn it, practice it, put your heart and soul into it, and then finally become good at it. So anyone watching, if you've become too comfortable at where you are, try something new. Maybe try cooking, try a new hobby, try running a marathon with no training at all. That's going to teach you something about yourself and the mental barriers you have. Do something impossible, do something you never thought you could do. And when you realize how easy it was in the first place, you'll realize there's nothing you can't do.